This is going to be really quick, because the next point in Rowe's Shakespeare Guide to Italy is so facile it can be swatted like a bloated fly. It's always been assumed that Shakespeare made a mistake when he sent his eponymous Two Gentlemen to Milan to meet the emperor. Here's Pantino addressing Antonio, father of Proteus. "Valentine attends the emperor in his royal court." He suggests that Antonio's son Proteus might also make the trip to Milan. A few lines later, Antonio responds, "I will dispatch him to the emperor's court." Now, the man on the Verona omnibus would take this to mean that there is an emperor who holds court in Milan, and that it would be an all-round good thing for Antonio's son to visit him there. Well, this is, of course, a problem for people who claim that the author of the plays must have visited Italy because Milan never had an emperor. Rowe, of course, is not prepared to admit that the author has simply made a mistake, so he goes in for his usual technique. Pages and pages of verbiage, followed by an Olympian leap to a conclusion. What he argues is that although Milan didn't have an emperor, there is a good record of a visit by a Holy Roman Emperor, Charles V, during a period of 4 days in 1533, at the end of which the emperor left unexpectedly, and that it is therefore to this visit that the author refers. I find this assertion staggeringly unconvincing. Firstly, if Pantino is referring to this visit, why does he talk about the emperor's royal court? Why doesn't he mention the temporary nature of the emperor's presence there? Why is there no reference to this when the boys actually arrive in Milan? Wouldn't Valentine and Proteus have inquired where they could find the emperor's court, and wouldn't they have been just a little miffed to discover that the emperor had buggered off? It's interesting to quote how Rowe finishes this section. The Duke of the play is not, of course, the real Duke of history. That Duke had no daughter. We thus have returned to the world of imagination. So it seems that Richard Rowe gets to decide which bits of the story can be safely ignored because they belong to the world of imagination, and which bits need to be taken seriously. What's astonishing here is not that the self-indulgent Rowe has provided this fanciful explanation of the mention of an emperor, but that people right now take this book very seriously. They pontificate over it in reverent terms and tell anyone who cares to listen that the evidence presented in this book is of huge significance. I've been told recently by one luminary that you have to take the book as a whole. Well, no, you don't. You have to take this book point by point and examine whether it has anything to say that proves that the author must have gone to Italy. And this tale of a 4-day visit by an emperor does no such thing. The most likely explanation for the mention of an emperor is that the author made a mistake. Or possibly not even a mistake. It looks as if the writer and his audience didn't care about accuracy. Emperor? Duke? Who cares? Certainly not the audience. In fact, Rowe himself consigned the Duke of Milan and his daughter to the world of imagination, so why all the fuss about this so-called emperor mentioned in one scene early in the play and then absent for the rest of the story? Anyway, if you have been, thanks for listening.